The thing that we have to take away from the last 10 years is that we really need to be really ruthless when it comes to the exercise of power.
What is happening right now? I'm going to read this quote here from The Great Controversy to start it off. This quote is so important for us to understand because it is where we stand in time right now. It says, as the question of enforcing Sunday observance is widely agitated, the event so long doubted and disbelieved is seen to be approaching, and the third message will produce an effect which it could not have had before. This is where we are in point of history right now, and I want to share with you the things that are coming to pass right now with regards to this. This is a recent event that took place a couple weeks ago at Franciscan University, and the title of this article is New Right. Academics argue for biblical lawmaking at Steubenville Conference. And you'll never guess who's standing on the podium in that picture. It is none other than JD Vance. This discussion had to do with Sunday laws. Notice the background behind JD Vance. I want you to see this next video here. Check this out. This is very interesting what is coming to pass right now and what they're talking about with regards to biblical laws that will be made for society today. Listen.
The public ordination to God is something that has suffered badly in recent decades, but it is easily restored. And I would say it is enacted and continues to be on the books in many different states in the way of blue laws, of Sabbath laws. If you've been following our disputes, we've been proponents of Sabbath laws. A restoration of the Sabbath is the most concrete and material gift that we can give to our nation.
JD Vance, of course, is the oncoming Vice President of the United States of America. And if you understand Bible prophecy a little bit, you will understand the following, that the Catholic Church claims that their mark of authority is the change from Saturday Sabbath to Sunday, and this is her act. This act, according to her, is a mark of her ecclesiastical authority in religious things. She tells us again, Sunday is our mark of authority. The church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that fact. So the change from Saturday to Sunday, she claims to be her mark. Now, regarding the Bible and the mark of the beast, there is a beast in Bible prophecy that has a mark, and this mark that is about to be pressed on the people is mentioned in the book of Revelation chapter 13 and is called the mark of the beast. In Bible prophecy, a beast is known as a kingdom. According to the Bible, there are 4 beasts in Daniel chapter 7, and the 4th beast is considered to be the 4th kingdom upon the earth. Now, other beasts are mentioned in the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 12 talks of a beast that is called a great red dragon. And the red dragon to Satan, this is the primary application, the devil and Satan himself. But Satan works through kingdoms and kings. And in Revelation chapter 12, verse 4, it tells us his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and cast them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be devoured, to devour her child as soon as it was born. This is talking about when Jesus was born. When Jesus was born, Satan used kings, the kings of the earth. That old dragon was represented as the kingdom of pagan Rome. According to Matthew 2:16, Herod, when he was exceeding wroth, sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem. He was angry with the woman and her seed. He went to make war, tried to destroy them all. There's a secondary application of this beast, and this beast represented pagan Rome. Pagan Rome. Revelation 12:17 tells us the dragon was wroth with the woman. He goes to make war with the remnant of her seed, which have the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. If you read Revelation chapter 12 very carefully, he has 10 horns. Those 10 horns symbolically are Rome. They come from Daniel chapter 7 and the divided Roman Empire. But pagan Rome, or imperial Rome, eventually gave its power and seat to the papal Roman power. And this is mentioned in chapter 13 of the book of Revelation, where it says, I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. 10 crowns, symbolically a monarchy. Revelation 13:2, and the beast which I saw was like a leopard, his feet as the feet of a bear, his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power, his seat, and great authority. In other words, the dragon from Revelation 12, imperial Rome, gave his power, seat, and authority to the papacy. And you can see all these powers mentioned from the book of Daniel chapter 7, where it talks about the lion, which is Babylon, the bear, Medo-Persia, the leopard, Greece, and of course the diverse beast, which would have been Rome, the Romish power, the imperial power that came to be, which gave its power, seat, and authority to the papal church. And how some of these things took place is documented again in the Great Controversy, page 53, where it says, in the early part of the 4th century, the Emperor Constantine issued a decree making Sunday a public festival throughout the Roman Empire. The Day of the Sun was reverenced by his pagan subjects and was honored by Christians. It was the emperor's policy to unite the conflicting interests of heathenism and Christianity. Imperial Rome gave its power and seat and authority to the church. And this is where the beast was formed in Revelation chapter 13. And again, regarding Constantine, it was said that in this sign conquer, the sign of the cross over the sun. It had to do with Sunday worship. In this sign conquer, thinking of this mark, this sign, this symbol, it's the mark of Tammuz. It's a sign or symbol of the ancient god of Babylon. Nimrod, the father of Tammuz, went to live in the sun. He came and impregnated his wife, Semiramis, and she had a son named Tammuz. And this is where this all revolves around, whether it's Sunday, Ishtar, Easter Sunday, Ishtar Sunday, that's where it all comes from, Babylon, ancient religion. But in regards to these Sunday worships and what is taking place with regards to the Mass and all these other things, we're told by the Catholic Church that distinctive of the Roman Catholic Church, Sunday Mass became a mark of a practicing Catholic. Furthermore, they tell us the attendance at Sunday Mass is the mark of a practical Catholic. The worship of God demands the attendance at Sunday Mass of every Catholic worthy of the name. The Pope recalls that the theme of Congress, we cannot live without the Lord's Day. It is my heartfelt wish that this Eucharistic Congress cause the desire for sanctity to grow within the faithful of the entire diocese. An indispensable condition for an apostolic commitment capable of making a mark upon society. With regards to the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast is Sunday. Sunday, they say, is their mark of authority. Now, JD Vance is the coming vice president of the United States. And before he became the vice president, he said regarding his policies to come, that he said his views of public policy and what the optimal state should look like are pretty aligned with Catholic social teaching. Vance told Ron Draher of the American Conservative. So Catholic social teaching is the coming policy of this coming vice president if he had his way, which he may just have. And in regards to Catholic social teaching, we're told that they have Sunday as a day of rest from work. Sunday, the church's holy days, are obligated, they tell us, in the Catholic social teaching, and they are of extraordinary importance to the Catholic Church. They tell us that Christians in respect of religious freedom and the common good of all should seek to have Sundays and the church's holy days recognized as legal holidays. This is actually part of Catholic social teaching, that they should be legal holidays. They should be days that are mandated by law. So what does the coming vice president desire? That it should be part of the laws of the land. Furthermore, we're told that JD Vance wrote the foreword to Project 2025 Architect's new book. Who's the architect of Project 2025? His name is Kevin Roberts. Regarding this, Project 2025 leader Kevin Roberts is the leader of the Heritage Foundation and is closely linked to Opus Dei, which is a Catholic society. Steve Bannon, another Catholic, said this recently. I want you to hear.
The issue we had when we first won is we weren't staffed up. We didn't have enough MAGA-type people that have been trained.
So the first administration didn't go as far as they would have liked. They've had 4 extra years to prepare for this coming administration. In regards to that, of course, they have people like JD Vance as the vice president, but we have been told that Trump is trying to distance himself from the pro-Trump Project 2025. That was interesting because shortly after he said that, he called on JD Vance to become his next vice president should he become the president of the United States again. But again, MAGA stars gloat. They can finally admit Project 2025 will be Trump's agenda as Bannon names the first targets.
Matt Walsh, welcome back. Matt Walsh, I think, is a very smart and a funny guy. Just put up on Twitter. Now that the election is over, I think we can finally say that, yeah, actually Project 2025 is the agenda.
Matt Walsh did say that Project 2025 is the agenda. I don't think he understands where this is going. Neither does Benny Johnson, who said, "It is my honor to inform you all that Project 2025 was real the whole time." And furthermore, Beau French, now we can admit that we are going to implement Project 2025. Now we can tell the truth that we're pushing Project 2025. You notice that Project 2025 seems to be the big deal. This is all part of Bible prophecy. This is what's happening right now. It's just clean sweep on the cards as Republicans eye the House majority and gain control of the Senate and Donald Trump takes the White House. In other words, they have power now. And listen to what CNN says with regards to this.
The Democrats haven't flipped a single Republican seat. So there is the possibility here of a complete united Republican government with Donald Trump as the president and with a Republican House and Senate, which means that in terms of appointments, in terms of immigration policy, economic policy, environmental policy, you name it, he could have a pretty blank check.
A pretty blank check. And what other policies might they want to enforce? Well, Project 2025 seemed to be a big deal to them, because as soon as the election came, they were all talking about how Project 2025 is actually the real deal in the plan. Kevin Roberts?
The basis of the plan is public. You can see that at project2025.org. There are parts of the plan that we will not share with the left. The executive orders, the rules and regulations, just like a good football team, we don't want to tip off our playbook to the left.
In other words, there's a bunch of executive orders that are already written. They've gotten control of all the things that they need to get control of, and now they have the policies ready to go. What might some of these policies include? Well, we do know that the key papal aide says the Vatican will seek to dialogue with Trump. Should Pope Francis remain the Pope during this term? I don't know, but they might want somebody else in the papacy seat soon. But the Rights Project 2025, we're going to make you believe, we're going to make you go to church, we're going to make this the government job. And they say Project 2025 calls on the next Republican president to draw distinctions between parts of the law as religious and non-religious. So much for the Constitution, which says no law should be made respecting a religion. We are past the point of the Constitution meaning anything. Furthermore, we are told that meanwhile, in his chapter on the U.S. Department of Labor in Project 2025, Jonathan Berry frames his proposal as part of divine history. He says the Judeo-Christian tradition stretching back to Genesis has always recognized fruitful work as integral to human dignity as service to God, neighbor, and family. Berry worries that God ordained the Sabbath day as a day of rest, and until very recently the Judeo-Christian tradition sought to honor that mandate by moral and legal regulation of work on that day, and blames consumerism and secularism for the decline in religious observance. Secularism means separation from church and state, if you look up the term. And so secularists, those who believe in the division of church and state, are the cause, and these are the blame of the problem regarding not being able to implement Sunday laws, which they have been, those people who believe in that since the 1890s when A.T. Jones stood before Congress and fought off the blue laws. It is very highly unlikely that this is going to be fought off this time. Seizing Your Sunday, Christian nationalists, a project to have a radical scheme to remake your weekends. They're talking about reshaping our Sabbath, reshaping our weekends. In other words, making Sunday a legal holiday. In regards to Trump's previous administration, exhaustive review finds at least 140 ex-Trump advisors are behind Project 2025. So what does that mean with regards to this next administration? Well, Kevin Roberts kind of gives us an idea here when he talks about what we will do for the Sabbath.
Our recent explication, or one recent explication you might have seen, you might have even signed, called for, quote, restoring to our nation a proper public orientation toward the virtues of patriotism and courage, honor and loyalty, religion and wisdom, man and woman, the Sabbath and the sacred, and reason and justice.
And the moves for Sunday is becoming more bold and decided as men like JD Vance and Kevin Roberts seek to implement Catholic social teaching as the policy of the day for the coming United States presidency. And they tell us that Sunday is to be recognized as a legal holiday. This is what happened during the Dark Ages when they pushed Catholic religion.
I've been noticing on your social media posts at your rallies, you're playing the Ave Maria. You're posting Happy Birthday, Mary, a St. Michael prayer to ward off evil. Is that telling voters something about your spiritual journey? What is that?
No, I don't think so. It's just beautiful to me. I mean, I look at the whole thing, the words and the pictures. The pictures are so beautiful. And I put up some stuff. Somebody else asked me that same question. Yeah. And it's really that I think it's really very beautiful.
The Pope was asked about your candidacy and Kamala Harris, and he instructed Catholic voters to vote for the lesser of two evils. Who do you think he means and why?
Well, I think he wants them to vote for me, and I stand for really everything that you stand for and that the church stands for, and she doesn't. She's a very different kind of a person. She's a Marxist. Her father was a Marxist and still is a Marxist. And they are not big into religion, I will tell you. And I'm not just talking about the Catholic religion. I'm talking about any religion. The whole Democrat Party's gone really radical left, and I'm the opposite. I am totally in favor of religion, and I also like the Catholic Church a lot.
They are certainly pushing in a direction that is going for what the Catholic Church would have in regards to coming Sunday laws in America and teaching and enforcing Catholic social teaching. Maybe Trump is aware of JD Vance's stance, and maybe he is aware of Project 2025's stance to push the Catholic social teaching on America. Kevin Roberts did tell us that elections would determine the coming policies such as Catholic social teaching. He said this:
for those of us who are in politics, is that, even at Heritage, where we're really zealously focused on policy, not elections, policy outcomes often are determined by who wins the election. So we have to pay attention to the elections. The challenge for us is we feel like Rome, Washington, is on fire.
Rome, Washington is on fire. In other words, Washington is Rome for them. And that's what they want to do, is turn it into Rome. It is the second Rome. It is the image of the beast, according to Bible prophecy. And it is to enforce the mark of the beast, according to Bible prophecy. That's what Revelation 13 teaches. For those of you who don't understand these prophecies, I will leave 2 links to Bible studies regarding the beast and the image of the beast under this video. But continuing on, it says in Great Controversy, page 443, in order for the United States to form an image of the beast, the religious power must so control the civil government that the authority of the state will also be employed by the church to accomplish her own ends. In other words, a copy of the beast. It is that the religious power needs to control the civil government, just as it did during the Dark Ages, during the time when the power of the dragon was given to the state. So the image of the beast will exercise all the same power as the first beast. And what is that power going to include? Well, it's going to include maybe Sunday laws because of the immorality of the nation.
Knives, or you can use whatever. It's the soul that is corrupt. And how we get back to a moral rebirth in this country, I don't know, since we are slowly eroding religion at every opportunity that we have. Probably we should be debating a bill requiring every American to attend a church of their choice on Sunday to see if we can get back to having a
moral rebirth, he says. And then continuing on, this is pretty much regarding the power that is coming, as the Bible says in Revelation 13:12, that they will exercise all the same power as the first beast, Donald Trump.
I get in there, you're going to be using that power at a level that you've never used it before. It's going to bring back the church. I don't like the charts when I see charts where they're going in the wrong direction. We don't like that. We're going to bring it back, and I really believe it's the biggest thing missing from this country. It's the biggest thing missing. We have to bring back our religion. We have to bring back Christianity in this country.
It's no different than the Arizona senator just said. And how do we have a moral rebirth in this country? How do we bring back religion? Well, Sunday. Maybe Sunday would help to bring back religion. Anyways, in regard to these things are all coming to pass. And you know what is about also to come to pass is what was wrote about almost 120 years ago in the Great Controversy. It is almost word for word the front page news of today. You go and read this whole chapter, you will see and understand that every word of this is being fulfilled right now. And it says in this chapter, heretofore, those who presented the truths of the third angel's message have often been regarded as mere alarmists. Their predictions that religious intolerance would gain control in the United States, that church and state would unite to persecute those who keep the commandments of God, have been pronounced groundless and absurd. It has been confidently declared that this land could never become other than what it has been, the defender of religious freedom. But as the question of enforcing Sunday observance is widely agitated, is that what we're happen right now? The event so long doubted and disbelieved is seen to be approaching, and the third message will produce an effect which it could not have had before. We're seeing this message about to swell. The loud cry of the third angel is about to swell, that people are start to wake up everywhere. We're going to see people coming into the truth of the Bible and start to understand these questions and these things, as we also see a battle with regards to pushing Sunday laws. There's going to be a war, and that dragon who gave the power to the first beast and also will speak through this nation, as it says in Revelation 13:11, it all comes to pass again in the United States when they enforce Sunday laws. this is going to be the time where people start to wake up and where the third angel's message has much more power. And so that is the time that we're living in right now. We are right here, right now. Praise the Lord that we can see all these things and understand all these things. And I pray for you, if you haven't understood these things yet, again, check under this video for the Bible studies, and they will help you to understand what is coming to pass right from the Bible, so that you can see, know, and understand, as Jesus said, know therefore and understand these things when you see these things come to pass. He doesn't want us to be ignorant. He wants us to be understanding. And of course, as you can see, most of the Christian world, for the most part, is ignorant in regards to the truths of what has happened in the history of the church, the persecution that has taken place in regards to church and state unions. You can go back to ancient Babylon, where they built an image and they tried to force religion by state power. Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel chapter 3. There's nothing new under the sun. The image of the beast is here now, and it is trying to enforce religion by state power. The same thing that has been is the same thing that will be, and God's principles are always the same. There will be a few in the minority that will stand. There will be some that will come out of these fallen denominations and these fallen churches, and they will recognize and stand with the remnant in these times. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next video. There's more to come. There's a lot more to come right now, because it is a time to prepare and understand the things that are coming to pass. We'll see you next time.